Yo, what's up guys? So we just got this thing in. It's a 2017 YZ250F, and the customer states he was riding it and the back tire just locked up on him. He said he started it back up and he rode it a little bit longer and then the back tire locked up again. And now it's super hard to kick. You can kick it over, but it's super hard. So I told him it's 99%, it's the crankshaft, the bearings, they're going out. So yeah, we're gonna do a full rebuild. I'm gonna start pulling the engine, and I'm gonna get back to you when I got the engine pulled out of it. All right, so we got the motor pulled out of it. Yeah, we're gonna start tearing it down. We're gonna start with the top end. Gonna loosen our timing chain here. Loosen our timing chain. Start to take these cams off. All right, so we'll start removing this head. All right. Take out. All right, take our head off. The head gasket's stuck. Our head still looks good. A little dirty, but the valves all appear to be good still. All right, so we're gonna start to take our cylinder off here. All right, our cylinder should just come off. All right, our cylinder is still in good condition. We got a little bit of wear on the top, but I do see cross hatching, so we're gonna reuse that. And yeah, this is exactly what I thought. The crankshaft is locked, or at least almost. We're gonna need a new crankshaft and main bearings. Pull my piston out. Looks like our pin's gonna be difficult. Usually, if these pins are hard to push out, it means the engine got hot. The OEM piston appears to be in pretty good shape, except for the pin being stuck. You can see it definitely got hot. It definitely got hot. We're gonna replace this piston anyways. Yep, we're gonna need a new OEM crank. We're gonna get going on the clutch side. I'm gonna replace that gasket anyways, so. They're making all these the same size. How nice is that? So I don't see any damage, which is good. I'll start taking the clutch off. Wow. Look at the pieces of metal in there. That's definitely the crank. Kicker gear off. Taking our shifter mechanism off. All right, so we got our flywheel puller on. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the flywheel. All right, got our flywheel off. Like I just found this. Look at that. That's definitely a piece of the rod. All right, take our timing chain off. To remove our counterbalancer. Now all we gotta do is remove all the case bolts and then it'll be ready to split. Shadowed that as best I could. Just makes it easier when putting it back together. All right, so before you ever even attempt to start splitting your cases, you always want to double check and just make sure that all the case bolts are removed. Like we're all good. And yeah, so I'll throw the case splitter on here and we'll begin to split our cases. Got our case splitter installed. We're gonna go ahead and start splitting our engine here. Looks like it's gonna be really easy though. Just doing it by hand. Sorry, starting to crank. You don't ever want to force anything with this. Alright, we should have our cases split. This should just come off. Yep. There's pieces everywhere. Piece right there. Piece right there. And now it's just fried. It won't even spin all the way around. Alright, so check out what I just discovered. So I've been looking at this the whole time, and some of y'all might have been screaming at me in the comments. But I knew something didn't look right about this. And what's supposed to be an oil squirter. So I started looking around in the trash can, and I found this. And what did you know? It fits perfectly, just like that. So that's crazy. So what must have happened is somehow this broke and the oil squirter failed, causing oil not to be squirted into the crankshaft, which is probably the reason why the crank failed in the first place. So yeah, we're gonna get this ordered up. It's a $20 part, luckily. And yeah, we'll have to wait for it to come in and we'll go from there. But I'm so glad I found this and then put the engine back together. So we got the new oil squirter in, and I've already gone through and cleaned up my cases. Really went through really well, made sure there's absolutely no pieces left. And yeah, we've already replaced our bearings. We got the new main bearings. Everything's nice and smooth. So we're gonna get going. We're gonna replace this oil squirter. Got our new OEM oil squirter. And we're gonna be using the red Loctite on here. So we're just about ready to install our crankshaft. Gonna heat up our bearing here. We got our crankshaft in the freezer. Should just slide right in. Perfect. Alright, so now we just need to go through with some alcohol. And I've already cleaned it pretty well, but we want to clean our case edges. Just make sure they're really clean. Should be nothing coming off of them. This is just so our seal will bond. And then we'll start to apply our sealer. Gone through my case edges and I've cleaned them really well. Everything's cleaned out. I'm gonna seal them up, put them back. Yep, we're using the Yamaha number 4. I'm just gonna go around and dab it with my finger. Put on both sides. Apply it to both sides and I'll get back to you when we're putting the cases back together. You don't want to forget your dowel pins. We got the sealer on both sides. Hopefully maybe they'll just come together. We'll see. Looks like they are. Yes. Perfect. I never get it that easy. Usually I gotta use the crank puller. Looks like we're good to go. That's awesome. Put our case bolts in. So yeah, putting a dab of Never Sees on each one. Alright, we're going to start putting our clutch side back together. Go ahead and install our shifter mechanism. Same thing, a little bit of Loctite, always. Install our shift shaft here. Alright, when we install our counterbalancer gear here, we want to make sure to align the two dots so that'll be in time. Just like that. So as you can see, our two dots are aligned. I want to put some Loctite on here. Same thing here, put some Loctite. Should wipe any excess off though. Alrighty. Go ahead and install our oil pump. Same thing, we're going to want some Loctite on here. Install our idler gear. Alright, install our kicker lever. Some assembly lube on the back. This washer goes first. This needle bearing, we'll put some assembly lube on there. Slide our basket on. Right. So we got a brand new hammer washer. So we're going to go ahead and install our clutch plates. We did get brand new clutch plates and have been having them sit in a bag with oil for the past couple days, letting them soak. On these bikes there is no starter plate, so. Install our actuation rod. Put a little assembly lube on this. Put the longer end going in. That. Put our ball in. Our pusher. Alright, ready to install our clutch side cover. I've greased the gasket like I like to do. So go slowly. Go ahead and install all the bolts. Got our clutch side all finished up. Move on to our flywheel side. So we got a brand new Ilium timing chain. It's always good just to replace these. They're like 20 bucks, no point in not. Got our guide. Put some Loctite on this one. Install our flywheel. Put our woodruff key back. A little Loctite on here. Alright. Torque down my counter sprocket here. Put in our dowel pins. Install our stator. Careful with this gasket, it's easy to pinch, especially with the magnet. I think we got it perfect. We'll install our bolts for our stator, and then we'll continue on with the top end. So because we're going to be reusing our cylinder, which it is in good condition, I decided we're going to do a light hone just to restore all the cross hatching. So we're going to put a good amount of this hone oil in the cylinder. Really coat it, coat all the beads here. It should be good. Alright, so I'll wash this out in the sink real good with some soap and water, and we'll continue along. Alright, so we're ready to install our top end. We got the brand new OEM piston. I've already checked the ring gaps, they're good to go, they're right in the middle in the spec, and I've already oriented the rings correctly. Go ahead and install our piston. Put some assembly lube on our wrist pin. You always want to make sure put the dot towards the exhaust. So they put an F on here from factory, so that's mean forward because the exhaust comes out the back on this motor. Let's seat it. It's good to go. Go ahead and put on our brand new base gasket. Put some oil in our cylinder. Go ahead and install our cylinder. We're going to go ahead and install our head. I've cleaned it up. I actually installed new valve seals in it. All good to go. Got our brand new head gasket. Go ahead and install our head bolts. I just like to put the assembly lube on them. Okay, it's a little weird torquing procedure. So we're going to go to 30 Newton meters for the first time. Alright, 30 Newton meters. So now I'm going to go back through and loosen one at a time. Torque it to 15 Newton meters. And then go to 60 degrees on that in a crisscross pattern. Torque it to 15. We're going to go to degrees, 60 degrees. Alright, 60. 64, it's okay. 60. Alright, 60. Okay, we got our head all torqued down. Now it's time to install our cams. Put it in time, we'll be good to go. Alright, I got my cams back on. One of the things I wanted to share, because it was like really hard for me to find, is there's supposed to be 27 links in between the bottom two dots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So yeah, that's how you know your engine's in time. Put this back together. Yeah, I just like to put the assembly lube on the threads of these. We'll go ahead and double check our timing, rotate the engine over, put the head cover back on, and I'll be ready to throw it back in the bike. Alright, so we got the engine in the frame. I've already done the break-in oil change, so I ran it for about an hour, half throttle, and I've changed the oil over the full synthetic. And the only other thing is I installed that kickstand. It's super minty. It runs really good. I just started opening up all the way, and it's definitely super fast. One of the fastest 250s I've ever rode. It always starts on the first kick. And yeah, it's already warmed up, so we'll go on a little test ride. I'll show you. No, it's really good. It's definitely really fast. has a real nice power bed. But yeah, really happy with the rebuild. Definitely a certified ripper. Oh crap. Second gear pull here, I'll show you. The throttle is super snappy. Definitely pretty nice. Definitely geared pretty short though. It's not like my WR swap. It keeps revving too. The suspension, that's probably its weak point. It could be better. Probably just needs a rebuild though, but except for that, this thing's minty. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed the rebuild. A lot of fun, a lot of work as usual. Definitely a certified ripper. Rides really good. One of the fastest 250s I've ever ridden in my life, that's for sure. And yeah, y'all stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching.